Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've all heard the name Markiplier before. Markiplier, he's an extremely popular YouTuber. He is most famous for, his FNAF gameplay, which he basically shot FNAF into the mainstream. So, like, I mean, I know Scott made it, but Markiplier kind of made FNAF. Anyway, I'm sure you've all heard of him. He's like I said, a famous YouTuber. And well, there's two people, Markiplier and then a guy named David. I don't know his last name. I really don't. I couldn't, even if I wanted to look it up, I couldn't even pronounce it right. But this guy, David, he made it could be David. It does start with a D. I'm pretty sure it is David, but he made a game, an indie horror game that's like a kind of a thriller, psychological slash almost eldritch horror game called Iron Lung. And if you've played the game, good. Then you know what I'm talking about. I personally have not played the game. I've heard the lore though. I've heard the lore on it. I've listened to a lore video and I haven't played the game. So when I heard, when Markiplier played the game, and he decided he was going to turn about 40-minute to an hour gameplay. Again, that's like an estimate from what I heard. Basically, an hour gameplay into a full-length movie. This was something I was excited for, and a lot of people too. This literally, like the anticipation was more than people were anticipating if Travis Kelce was going to propose to Taylor Swift. And when the trailer came out, it had more excitement than when Travis Kelce did propose to Taylor Swift. Anyway, I just saw the movie, and I want to give you guys my honest thoughts on it. Well, before I do that, let me say this. To anyone who's going to go watch it, I just want to let you know, this film is a very slow burner film. It isn't like, it does say horror, but it's more like psychological slash eldritch horror, meaning, take that as you will. But it is a very slow burner film. So, like, don't go in there and, expect it to be, fucking, like, instantly into the action, blood everywhere, spooky. No, do not be expecting that. This is a very slow burner film. Anyway, well, actually, before I go into my deep dive on it, not even really deep dive, Markiplier, he made a few appearances at premieres for the Iron Lung movie, and he asked the crowds there to not spoil it. So, in respect for him, even though I wasn't at a premiere, I am not going to spoil it. I'm gonna do my best to avoid spoilers. So I'm gonna do my best to tiptoe around it. Anyway, so yeah, out of respect, I'm not gonna spoil it. But my honest review on it, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. Like I said, it is a slow burner. The last slow burner film that I watched that I really liked was Skinamarink. That was it's if you guys have seen those like almost like analog horror kind of videos, then you've at least heard of Skinamarink. It's a horror film centered around two kids in a house and something's in there with them. But like weird camera angles where it like has a upside down shot of like a corner of the ceiling for like 2 minutes with like whispers in the background and then all of a sudden a scream and then it cuts to another new angle. It's like a very slow burner film. And Iron Lung did remind me of that a lot. But I thought it was pretty good. I will say this though, for fans of Markiplier and fans of the property of Iron Lung, you are going to love it. Again, it is a slow burner, which you do know if you've played the game, so you will appreciate it. For those who played the game, it is essentially 1-to-1. Again, I haven't played the game, I've heard the lore, so yeah, I went in here, but again, if you haven't played the game, you're able to go into this movie and just basically only get the story of it without having to suffer through the gameplay. Suffer is the wrong word, I guess. I've heard some people say that because they said it was like a long, slow burner, but without having to do the gameplay. So I went into here, and I will say the first 30 minutes of the film were like a very slow burner. But yeah, it stars Markiplier as a convict named Simon. I don't know how far I can get into this without, getting into spoilers, but basic plot, all inhabitable planets are gone, all the stars are gone, and there is like space stations, and there is a planet that they're stuck on, and that has an ocean of blood. And Markiplier's character, Simon, is tasked with going in a submersible into this ocean of blood on a mission. That's like the best I could say without spoiling it. So yeah, there you go. He needs to go on this mission. It's a very important mission. And he goes down there and he he has to do what he has to do. And I gotta say this. The effects and the shots, there were some very good creative shots in this movie. I have to say that. There were like really good angles, really weird angles, but like I liked them. They were really good. So, um, and another thing, the submarine, I'm correct, it was the submarine actually was practical. It wasn't CGI. The submarine was a full practical build. And in the behind, like there's scenes, I guess there's scenes where the submarine moves. Of course, it's a submarine. And turns out I didn't know this, but the submarine, like when I said submarine was practical, it was on like in the behind the scenes. It's on like this rig that must have listened to "Hips Don't Lie" by Shakira because that thing be moving. Anyway, so yeah, he's tasked with going to do what he needs to do, and he he's during his mission, things happen. That's things happen that are in relationship to Eldritch Horror. That's all I'm gonna say. So, things happen, and I gotta say, towards the end of the movie, it is called Iron Lung. There's a lot of blood. I'm sure you've seen the trailer. The blood effects looked really, really good. All the effects, I'm pretty sure a lot of them were practical. They looked amazing. They looked like amazing, especially for a YouTuber done film. And keep in mind, Markiplier, he didn't work with he didn't work with Blumhouse, he didn't work with Amazon, he didn't work with Universal, he didn't work with A24. No, he spent his own money, his own doubloons on this film. And usually when a YouTuber makes a film out of their own budget, it honestly just looks like like a YouTube short made with Adobe After Effects. But this one didn't. It looked really good. Like it looked like a genuine high budget film. So yeah, I gotta get. Again, this is gonna be a shorter one because I would love to get into like a full deep dive review. I just can't though because I'm gonna be spoiling it. Like I said though before, the first 30 minutes it is a slow burner, so especially the first 30 minutes. Even if you are a fan of Markiplier and the property of Iron Lung, the first 30 minutes you might be like possibly tuning out. I did see one person in my theater just kind of go like, but I was invested, and there are some really good scenes of tension, especially when it comes to this submersible. If you have claustrophobia, they make you feel it. Like it makes you feel like you are legitimately trapped in there with Markiplier as stuff is going on. So yeah, that's the most I can do, I guess, without spoilers. But again, slow burner film, but still, if you like slow burners, then you'll like this one because it was really, really good. I liked it. 7 out of 10. Obviously, it's not like the perfect film, but high compliments to Markiplier, man. You pulled off a great movie based off of a game, so you get my praise for that. So yeah, that's about my review for Iron Lung. It was pretty good.